Okay, prepping the bag for the tournament. Tomorrow's the tournament, and there's a couple things that, well, there's several things I like to do. First, we're going to talk about the rangefinder, and you want to make sure that you are always prepared with the rangefinder. That's why I'm using currently the Garmin Z82. It's quite an awesome rangefinder, but the one thing I do like about it is rechargeable. So there's two sides to that. If you are not recharging it every time and you forget, you could show up without battery. I also like to keep a portable battery pack in my vehicle, so if that happens, I can throw that in the bag and charge it while I'm using it. But let's go ahead and get that charging. And prior to that, I actually had a battery-powered rangefinder, and I always had an extra battery with me just in case, because the thing you don't want to have to be doing measurements on your own during an actual tournament. Then you have to buy a book, you have to know your yardages, you have to, and hope that the course actually has the readings on the sprinkler heads or wherever. So one of the things that I do like to use, and I always keep this attached to my bag, and it's a retractable scrub brush, and this one, got it on Amazon, I don't know, super cheap. But what I put in here is I put in a little Dawn, because this will help get the oil from my hands off my grips. And right now we are about to go through the entire bag of clubs, and we're going to scrub the actual grips, and we're going to scrub the face. I usually try and keep those clean anyway, but let's just kind of jump in and see how I do this. So obviously you start off, you can either do the head first, you can do the whole club at the same time, just a little squeeze. So just a little squeeze from this guy, and you just scrub the sucker down. Usually I like to get this side just to make it a little cleaner looking, easier to see the numbers on my wedges. But I do go ahead and do everything all at once. I'm going to add some water to the grip just so I don't have to use this entire bottle. But and all I'm doing is just scrubbing it. I'm getting a nice solid foam across it, and once I'm done, I already feel the difference that it makes. And I'm going to grab another towel and just dry it off. Also get the shaft, because sometimes it just gets a little dirty depending on where you're at, and lately I have not been in good spots during my rounds. So I'm not going to bore you with doing every single club, but as far as getting my clubs ready, that is what I'm looking at. Now, some of the things you may want to do is an inspection on the hosel and where the hosel meets the shaft. Just make sure everything looks good. I had a buddy of mine, Brad, we were out playing, and he talked about how his driver didn't look right. And with your driver, one of the things you want to pay attention to is going to be the connection, and hopefully that's coming into focus. So where that hosel is, you want to make sure that it looks solid. His had the hosel had shifted a little bit. It was just the sleeve, but even so, you want to make sure the connection looks good. It's not rattling. And another thing is make sure you always carry your adjuster tool. And I always, when I'm cleaning these, I just like to make sure that I hear this. That's just telling me that it's nice, clicked, locked in. I have found where it's come loose before. Now this, the Tour Edge, you'll actually see that this also has the adjustable weights, and so I'm going to go ahead and make sure those are tightened, because I actually have had this weight slip around before on me, but just something else to think about with your clubs. What do I actually do with the bag itself? So let's go out in the garage and kind of go through the bag, and I'll show you kind of what I look at. Okay, one of the rules I've never been called on, nor have I seen it called on anyone, is how many balls you have in your bag. And you can have up to 12 during a round of golf that's in a tournament. I mean, if you want to carry more than that, you're just out having fun, go at it, but makes your bag heavy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through anywhere I keep my balls, and a lot of times the reason I'll find another ball like this TaylorMade. I actually found it and wanted to try it out because I didn't want to buy a whole sleeve just to give it a shot, but I have 2 for my tournament play, and so now I'm just going to come to this, and I have, let's see, I'm going to put, so I got a 12 here, and now the next step, if I hit a ball out of bounds, the last thing I want to do is have to remember to get out a pen and mark it down, but I will actually put, how I mark mine is, I use this for alignment, but I'm just going to stick a dot by the number, and I do that on both sides. And I'm going to go through all 12 and then put them in my bag, and that way I am ready for tournament golf. Another thing I'll do is go through, make sure that I do have some emergency snacks. So I always have some peanuts in here. I usually try and get some beef sticks or something along those lines to munch on throughout the round. And always remember to get your water. And I usually will bring in a container that I can put ice in as my backup, and then I'll have my V1 cup and just keep that full of ice and water, and then I'll just refill it. If the course has water on site and it's cool water, then I'll just go ahead and keep refilling with that, just so I always have extra, because it's very important. I don't think I have any in here, but another thing you want to do is make sure you have some hydration packets that you can put in the water if you need to. One of the things that I have not gotten as an issue with too many clubs, because you only have 14, what I have had is where I left my putter out because I took it inside to work on my well putt mat, and literally driving down the road, I'm like, did I check my clubs? And reached back and found that the putter was not there, had to turn around. So I like to get everything set up. I don't want to put this in the vehicle overnight. I actually want to keep it inside, ready to go. So that is all I'm doing to get my clubs and my bag ready for tournament golf. One of the biggest things that I like to do is use roundabout, which I will bring up on this side, I think, that side, I don't know, one of the two. I'm gonna scoot me over. Is it allows me to play a golf course like I'm actually there. And so what I'll do is I'll go through, do a search for the club, and I'm gonna say casual. I'm gonna start on hole 1. Now during a tournament, a lot of times, especially with the Southern Texas PGA, we start off on, we do a shotgun. So you can actually tell to which hole to start on, but we're gonna just start on hole 1. Obviously we're gonna play the championship length, which is 6205. I'm gonna start around, and this will literally let me kind of play through. Now I don't have the app that Scott Fawcett designed, Decade, but what I will do is look at each hole, and you can actually see those little black 6s. That means that I've played there, and I think that was my 6th shot, is what that was. from prior tournaments, and I played in a practice round there as well. So this is telling me that it's 293 to the pin straight at it. So this first hole, you know, I want to, you see kind of like in this area here, there's a tree, and I can skirt this tree fairly easy, but I want to make sure that I don't get too greedy. I could go directly at it, but that whole 60-yard thing, I mean, if I smoke my driver, I could end up under that tree. I don't want to. I want to have a nice, smooth, full shot. And my half shots still need some work. And so I'm looking at give me a full shot at least. And so, you know, I can look at anywhere from my 194, which would be my 5-iron, up to my 4-iron with roll 3-wood. Probably not, I'm not going to risk it with a 3-wood because I could end up in that bunker there. But so on this hole, I'll actually write down 4-iron, and that's really what I'm looking for. I'm not getting crazy, like, you know, getting in and saying, you know, which way do I want to miss? Because if I'm going to miss here, I know this one, because I played it, I want to miss it short. Because if you hit back here, you're going to roll off and roll down that hill back here. So it's not good. But that also takes course knowledge, and I'm probably not going to have that on a lot of these courses that I play in. So I'm looking at 4-iron, next hole, and I can skip by swiping. Let's see, skip by swiping score. On this hole, I'm looking at maybe my 4-iron. I'll probably actually look at my 5-iron, but that's because I know the course again, right? And I know if I land it here, because in that tournament, I actually landed it about right there, and then you can see it rolled up to the 4, where it says that circle 4, and almost flipping went in the hazard, but it got stuck in some rock and stuff. So anyway, this is the biggest thing you can do to prep for a round of golf, is just to play the round. And this app is really nice because you can see, you know, 231 leaves me 102, or if I want to look at my 4-iron, I could say 211 leaves me 122, or, you know, I know that day if I'm not hitting my 4-iron, because sometimes I'll get fast with it and not wait on it at the top, my 5-iron, I feel very confident in my 5-iron, and so that would leave me 136. That's a pitching wedge or a half 9-iron, not half 3/4, who am I kidding? But that's all I'm going to do. And you can also swipe from the right to left. It'll go to the next one without requiring you to enter a score. And so I will just go through this entire course, and then the night before, when I'm trying to calm down and take a breather and go to sleep, I start playing the course. And if I've played there before, it's super easy. If I haven't played there, I try and remember it enough on my phone that I'm sitting there and I'm visualizing each shot and seeing the ball fly and feeling it in my hands. So your mind is a very powerful tool, and you want to get to where you can see that nice shot off the tee box, or that nice shot into the green, and feel it, right? And that's really one of the big things that I've made a change on last year, was getting to where I'm really seeing it and feeling it. And then I focus on that instead of thinking, okay, I'm going to swing and I need to get to this position here. That stuff's, it's too late. Don't have a swing thought like that. You can have like a swing thought where you start and you're like, that's it, just my takeaway. You see Justin Thomas, he does that little takeaway. He's setting that feel, and that's what he uses when he starts to, you know, do the actual game. So guys, I hope this helps a little bit on what I do for my tournament rounds. You saw an entire week of it. Before I go to bed tonight, I'll probably pull out the well putt and put on that bad boy. May not do a full course, may just do my own course, just to work on that short putt, to get it confident. And that's all I'm looking for with the putter right now, is confidence. and working on the short. If I three putt, but it's three putting from over 30 feet, I'm not going to be disappointed in that. Disappointed in missing a 3-footer or less, absolutely. Guys, thanks for following. Let's see how well I can do tomorrow. I know I can beat my 89. So let's see what happens. And next video, season 4 opener. Guys, like, subscribe. Just subscribe, really. I mean, you can like the video, that'd be cool, but subscribe. Anyway, guys, as always, reviewing, getting prepped, going to a tournament will help keep it findable. And that's going to make it a fun game for you. Guys, we'll see you later. Have a great day.